Hello everyone, this here is the LEGO Star Wars Ahsoka Tano's T-6 Shuttle set. This has 601 pieces. I built it live over on my Twitch channel and it cost me $80 US. Now the set comes with 4 minifigures and we'll look at those closer later, but spoiler alert, there's only room in this ship for one of those figures to be held at a time, and that's in the cockpit. Well, let's take a look at this regardless to just start with, just overall, just get a general idea for it. That blue pin really sticks out a lot. Otherwise, it's very elegant. It is, it's kind of small in a way, smaller than some Starfighter sets have been, some Starfighter builds, but it's a really nice build though. It's a really unique build. It feels interesting putting it together. It doesn't feel like just another Lego set. It's not a super high-end thing, but it definitely kept my interest peaked all the way through. And it's actually somewhat close to the end that you add all of this in, that you actually take advantage of the ability to rotate the wing or wings around, and how that gets set up is actually, again, elegant and nice. This is a good print for the canopy. You got just, again, one, space for one single figure to sit in there. They don't have any flight yoke or anything, but there's a simple printed canopy towards the front. These are stud shooters in the gunmetal gray color. This is a sticker right here. So sticker here, sticker here, sticker there. Those seem to be reasonable to me. And this is symmetrical pretty much from side to side. Overall, this looks really nice and it felt really good. It also feels well balanced. The rotation feature seems to work out pretty well from a structural perspective. I'm not worried about anything falling apart, and it looks pretty good from around the back there. You can see the little turret. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot that you can do for the tail gunner's position. You can angle these individual pieces up and down, but it's not going to spin or anything like that. It's just limited in size. I liked this little bit of greebling in here. It had a little bit of extra depth to it, which is good. A little bit of extra depth right in here with some different texturing. That feels good. All this feels good. A lot of this feels good for its size, for its level of complexity. The landing gear are really simple, but they are effective. And most importantly, they do get out of the way of the rotating mechanism. Now let's take a look at this in its flight mode. As you can see here with just really nice splotches of color. Most of that accomplished with actual pieces, not relying too heavily on the stickers. These two are pretty important, but most of this is just plate and tile buildup. One thing that they never show you though, that Lego never shows you in any of the official photos, is what the other side of the wing looks like, and that is this. What? Just kind of gave up. And I don't think I'm being hyperbolic in saying that. I really think that all of the parts budget for the set, since the price of a set is determined in advance, and then the designer has to build to that price, all the parts budget went into making this nice most of the time. But then as soon as you do this, well, there just wasn't enough budget to put in all those pieces, all those physical pieces that I was lauding here, to put a whole other layer of those back here to try to at least somewhat duplicate the pattern, because this is supposed to be at least half dark red on this side, canonically as well. It should not be like this. At least it doesn't look completely, mixed up with different colors and different depths and everything. It's relatively flat, although this is pretty obvious, this vertical line right here. But yeah, you're doing this kind of thing and like, hey, this is cool. Yes, good. And then you flip it around and then it's not so cool anymore. So that's a disappointment. It did take me a little while to figure out how I could hold this to allow this to work, but that's really cool once you do get it. It feels good. Again, the balance here it's not perfect, but it works out pretty well. And you've got that large turntable piece. It's not going to bind up easily. So much, it's so good. Just unfortunate that literally half of the beautiful wing isn't beautiful. Now, the only other thing that I haven't really shown you here is the storage space. So you've got just kind of a trunk here. You can see a little bit of the Technic inner structure to this, but that's perfectly fine. It's just a small bit of storage there. You can put some things in. You can slide lightsaber blades in between, and then just kind of to toss this off to the side, have things slip out. And on the other side, similar deal, just a little bit less space. It almost looks like those are supposed to be beds in there, like they're trying to simulate interior space. And this is a table, but you can't put people in it or anything. In order to get to that wrench right there, you have to pull this out like so. Then you can get at the wrench. So just very, very limited space was available here. I think the designer did their best to make this useful to some degree, but if it's not going to hold a person in there, it just doesn't add a whole lot of value for this transport, this shuttle. Shifting gears to look at the minifigures, here are Ahsoka and Sabine fully set up with the different Leku for Ahsoka here, looking pretty good with the exception of just a little bit of offness with the print at the peaks right there. The bases of the peaks just kind of smudged a bit, but otherwise, most of that print is very good. The print for the torso is subtle, unfortunately, because it's against all that gunmetal gray. You don't see the detail that well unless you really, really look carefully at it. It is good. The print is done well, but yeah, it's just, unfortunate that the color the colors are mostly so close. No alternate or no dual molded arms there to show the bracers or the wrist wraps for her. Just generally the printing, the graphic design for the Leku is very good. Unfortunate that you have a little bit of lack of opacity for the orange here. So the orange, right next to each other is supposed to be the same skin tone here, even though it's an extra orange color. Still, that's how Lego chose to do it. It would have been nice to get a closer match between those two. Years ago, I did a little video showing potentially what Ahsoka could look like with frosted clear lightsaber blades, and here we finally have them officially, which is nice. One of these ended up having just a little bit of a blemish in it, but that's okay. Just the standard hilts are used, which I don't know if the curved ones are still available in production. Probably not. I don't know if they still have those molds available, but it would have been nice to have the option, perhaps, given what we know now, but these aren't too bad, honestly, the way that they can be posed up. And then looking at Sabine there with her full Mandalorian armor, prints here are also pretty good. Comes with the 2 pistols, which is nice. And then taking the headgear bits off, I want you to see what these alternate faces look like. We do have alternate faces for both of them. This is what this face would look like framed up for Sabine, and in the case of for Ahsoka, in the case of Sabine, they do also give you the alternate hair piece. This doesn't have any suggestion of different colored tips. That's perfectly fine. I think this is the closest you could reasonably get for her. And let me just take this off so you can also see the rest of the detail. There you go, of the other face. So it's not blocked by anything. And that's just a smiling kind of satisfied, just comfortable face. Professor Hu Yang here, unfortunately, does use the animated version color scheme. I'm sure that Lego simply a year and a half ago, however long ago it was, that they were able to see a limited amount of reference material for the Ahsoka series, did not get the information that there was going to be a recolor for the live action version of him. So I can't blame Lego for that, though obviously, what we're seeing here is a Lego representation of the animated incarnation or interpretation of that character. However, given that this is not the type of head that fits over a minifig head, it is a fully molded thing with just a void behind the face. I feel like the shaping isn't as good as it could have been. I really feel like his cheeks should have been much narrower and should have been much thinner and more sleek. It's something that they could have done. It was an artistic choice to make it a little bit more chubby like that, a little bit more stubby, to be closer to the Lego minifig style. I just don't think it's the best decision personally, but the rest of the printing is very good, at least. And he's got the printed pack on the back, some extra wiring and everything. And over on the right, Marek does not have any identification underneath, so there's no spoiling going on for who that actually is. But otherwise, the figure is well detailed and well apportioned. I think that the print on the shoulder armor piece, shoulder, neck, upper body armor piece is nicely integrated in. This is another one where you've got a lot of dark color, and as a result, you're not able to see a whole lot of the detail of the printing, which is a shame because the printing is actually pretty good and the design work done there is actually pretty good. The leftover pieces include extra shots for the stud shooters and all the extra pieces from the headgear accessory pack, and this is what the sticker sheet looked like, so not a whole lot there. But wait, there's one more thing. They also include this lightsaber for one of the characters to use, and once again, yeah, just another small blemish here. It's like a mold mark. I think it's a mold release point or injection point, which I had not been seeing before. These had been getting very, very nice and consistent and clean, but now we got two in this one set that show that blemish in the same spot. It's unfortunate. So again, this 601 piece set was $80 US. It is 75 euros, 65 pounds UK, and 100 Canadian, which is approximately 73 US dollars with the 4 minifigures there. I don't feel terrible about the price by today's standards for this amount of stuff. Of course, I would love for it to be cheaper than that, you know. 70 would feel better. 60 would feel great, but I don't think I could reasonably ask for that, given the amount of stuff here. The problem that I have with this value-wise is what you can do with it, what you can really get out of this, because it is just a single-seater. That's really my main problem with it. I'm okay with the size itself. I just wish that you could do more with this. I wish that you could put at least a couple figures in the back, you know, one on either side, even if they had to lay down unrealistically, you know, leaning way out or in or something. Just not being able to carry more people really holds it back. Even you can attach them to the outside, I guess, just, you know, something something non-canonical just to allow it to carry more people. It's a shuttle after all. You know, not a one-person starfighter or you know, sports car or something. And then obviously this, you know, they should have shown this. I think there's a little bit of naughtiness in advertising there. The fact that they didn't show this at all. I personally thought from looking at the initial official pictures that this was going to look decent from both sides. You know, not as good from this side, but the fact that they didn't put any red here, yeah, just. That, you know, I'm fine with it being on the underside, but given the fact that this does fly right side up, sunfish style, that, yeah, doesn't work so much for me personally. But what is here is really, really good. The build was awesome, so refreshing. You know, in spite of not using the most incredible nice part usage and everything, it just felt good to me. The figures are good except for that Huyang. I don't know quite what happened there personally. Overall, not a bad set, and I'm loving the Ahsoka series itself. No spoilers there, but I personally am enjoying it very, very much. Very glad that I did rewatch Rebels, at least the important bits of it, just before the Ahsoka series started. So yeah, just generally pretty good stuff. Values not terrible, but really limited in capabilities and functionality. Quality of stuff is pretty good. Thank goodness for the Canopy working out pretty well too. Yeah, those are my thoughts in general. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to support the channel just a little bit, if you make a Lego purchase, please consider using one of the affiliate links in the description. That's if you want. That's if you're already going to buy something, but it's completely independent of my own opinions about stuff. Thank you for watching again. I'll talk to you again very soon.